guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be summarising and ranking all of the Jurassic movies, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. There's two trilogies now. I have done reviews of every single one on the channel, revisiting all the older ones, and of course watching the new one and giving the new one a movie review. So in total we have 6 movies. I've got them all here, but I've got them old-fashioned but also new-fashioned. Now I have a letterbox account which is just Movies with James, so if you want to follow me on there, I think you can. I don't even know how it works. I'm just using it really to document and store things, so yes. So in bottom place, the worst Jurassic movie is actually the second movie, The Lost World Jurassic Park. This is from 1997. I actually gave this a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was really underwhelming from the point of view of just dinosaurs. I just thought that the dinosaurs didn't really build the tension in the movie. The tension was built by like the lorry thing hanging off the cliff. That was what gave me anxiety. So it was a real shame of how they used the dinosaurs, and at the end of the film was a bit underwhelming. I just thought it was a really disappointing sequel, and you know, even like the big T-Rex like being like locked in and then tranquilized at the end, it just all seemed a bit too convenient, and I don't know, didn't really sell it to me. 6.5 is still not a bad score. It's not like it's a terrible film, but it just wasn't one of my favourites, you know. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10 I gave that. The next one then, in 5th place, I'm going to give to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So this is the second one in the franchise. This is a movie that I loved the first half of the film, hence why I gave this a 7 out of 10. I loved the first half of this film. The film was great. We had the whole volcano erupting. They were going back to the island. They wanted to save them and take them to another island, like a sanctuary. All seemed believable. A really good sequel plot, in my opinion. Brilliant. But then the end of the movie was then in this like manor house, and they were like bidding on dinosaurs, and this really weird like Indoraptor got created, and there was good tension building scenes, but just like the end of the film, like that whole like being in that manor house for the length of time that we was, didn't sell it to me. Felt like a really tale of two halves, as I say. The first half I thought would have been like a 8-9 out of 10, and then the other half would have been maybe a 3-4 out of 10. So we're kind of meeting in the middle as a 7 out of 10. For me, Fallen Kingdom there falls at number 5. In number 4 is the newest movie in this series, Jurassic World Dominion. I also gave that a 7 out of 10. Very similar in terms of what I said. In terms of the first half of this film, I thought was the worst. This film was more like in 3 acts, but the first act was really, really terrible. Like there was 2 different storylines going off, and at one point it feels like there's 2 different movies happening. It doesn't feel like it's the same film. They're very different plots, and there's a lot of story going on, and you're going from one to the other, and for me it just didn't work. In my review I actually said like it feels like Chris Pratt and obviously Bryce Dallas Howard signed up for their like return, obviously, and had their story, and that was it. And then at a later date the old cast returned, and they just created a story for it to run in tandem, and then by chance they just met at the very end. And that was it. That was all it was. So it was really disappointing. They had a real, opportunity really to do something different, and they just didn't take it, in my opinion. So I gave that a 7 out of 10. Things I liked about it though, like the practical element, like to have practical dinosaurs in our age, I thought was good. Nowadays it's all CGI, and the CGI made me question, like, is that real? Is that fake? What is it? So yeah, I gave it a 7 out of 10 as well. But I think it's just a little bit better than Fallen Kingdom because they're both very similar, but I'm just going to put it just a little bit better than Fallen Kingdom, mainly for the nostalgia purposes of having the older people back, of course. In 3rd place, so the top 3 movies, the next one is Jurassic World. I gave this an 8 out of 10. This is the first of the reboot, even though it's like a sequel to the 3rd movie, and I gave this an 8 out of 10. Really, really enjoyed this film. Really, energetic, full. We had the Indominus Rex, the Mosasaurus, some new dinosaurs. It was really good seeing a park where it was full of people, 20-odd thousand people that were visiting the park, where the dinosaurs actually got out. So it was fun to see that. Obviously in Jurassic Park it wasn't actually opened, of course. So it was good to see that. We had people actually getting lifted in the air by all these dinosaurs, etc. And obviously Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, new characters coming on board. Yeah, I think it was really good. I gave that an 8 out of 10, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. In number 2, which is very, very close, and probably the biggest surprise for me anyway on this list, Jurassic Park 3. I gave that also an 8 out of 10, but I think it's slightly better than Jurassic World. I had real fun with this film. We had Alex Grant coming back, Sam Neill playing Alex Grant, who was in the first one. He came back. We also had Laura Dern as well, even though she was more of a cameo. So the old characters came back, even though they weren't there for the second one, other than Jeff Goldblum. But the third one, I think, is a really underrated film. The whole birdcage scene I thought was fantastic, with, again, like underwater, and obviously he's trying to figure out about like the raptors and like how they talk to each other. They have like this 3D printed thing. I don't know, the third film for me I really enjoyed, and it was an 8 out of 10. I think it's better for me, slightly better than Jurassic World. Really enjoyed it, and like I said, I gave it an 8 out of 10, and it's my second favourite Jurassic movie. So obviously there's no questions asked, the first movie is the best movie for me. 9 out of 10 I gave Jurassic Park. Everything about this film I think is really good. You obviously get the practical stuff. It's one of the first films ever to properly do like good CGI really as well. From 1993, so it is 30 years old nearly as well, and it still holds up to this day. It is also as well really good 4K. I'd never watched the 4K before, so this was a first for me, and I really enjoyed it. It's obviously going to be the first. I'm sure it's the best on everybody else's lists, but for me it's really good. 9 out of 10 and full of nostalgia. I also really like what they did with like the 4K and like the new DTS-X track we had, which was like all the overhead height track stuff and all the modern day audio stuff, because I'm really into that type of stuff. And I think it just was great. It was very well executed. Obviously Steven Spielberg creating this franchise from the ground up really. Actually, when I was watching these films and doing my research, I think this was based on a book, or the book came after, I'm not too sure, but you know, I know there's a book of Jurassic Park out there, so yeah. So there it is. There is my ranking of all of the Jurassic movies from worst to best. I've had real fun doing this. If you want to know my more detailed reviews of each of the movies rather than this summary, of course, please go back and watch those videos more in depth. Yeah, there it is. There's my ranking of all of them. There's the scores that's going to be in those videos. And as I said, real fun doing this. The next one I'm doing now is Ghostbusters. I've actually uploaded the first Ghostbusters review already. And once I've watched all 4 of those Ghostbusters movies, I will of course then be ranking all of those after reviewing them. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this more often now, just to get more knowledge into me in terms of movies, and when there's like the new Jurassic Park thing, I'll obviously time it right so that I can release a video like this with also including the new one as well. So yeah, real fun doing this, as I said. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and also let me know any other franchises you want me to do this type of video for, and watch them all individually, etc. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.